Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Monday, yo. Exactly.
It's Monday, and we are gradually counting down to the end of a month. Time is moving quite fast. I say that happens when you're getting older.
When you're having fun, when you're having a good time, you know, time moves faster. But when you're not, it seems to drag. I don't know. Don't you agree?
It does. But that's entirely, you know, to yourself, it's subjective. It does happen. Time is constant, as it were. And of course, this entire week, the week after our 7th anniversary, we're here to ensure that we give you motivation, we enlighten you, we entertain you, as we normally do on Wake Up Nigeria.
Indeed. Now, if you want to feed a problem, all you have to do is keep thinking about it, you know, just keep dwelling on it. But if you want to stave, I think the word is stave a problem, you need to act on it. So, that's our Monday motivation gift for you.
All right, wonderful. Great way to start this Monday morning. And of course, we're here to ensure that we keep it up all through the week. My name is Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Titila Oinso. Well, hey, it's simple. We need to help plant the right kind of positive energy into your world right now. And that's what we're trying to do on our ship. We have quite a lot of motivation in the air to beat any, you know, unmellow feelings.
Yeah, hit us up. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaontvc across social media. TVC Entertainment, that's the handle. Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, TikTok.
Anywhere in the world, we have our mobile app available for you to download so you can watch us live. It's available on Google Play or iOS. And as long as you have those in the palm of your hands, you have us with no stress.
All right, if you're watching us on DTT, that will be GOTV channel 16. StarTimes will be 121. And of course, the terrestrial band will be 49. That's on the ultra high frequency.
We're going to have quite a lot happening on the show today. Of course, in the highlights, we'll be having a performance. Skido Simba is going to be right here on Wake Up Nigeria, performing very soon. The power of the mind. Interesting. Now, the mind of a father, his family, national transformation. That's the final discussion we're having on motivation for the month of July. We're trying to help conclude this series with Dr. Francis Adishino.
American Playboy will be here as our guest this morning.
Now when I dey small, now my palette don dey teach me this planting. Jay dey hear me so.
So Yuri, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, talking about that opening ceremony, did you see it?
I saw it.
A number of people are very angry. Are you? Are you amongst them?
Angry?
Yeah, baby.
So the first thing is people need to remember that the Olympics is for the gods.
Wow, Mary went there.
No, let's be realistic.
Went there.
Look, I have a problem with people trying to turn everything into a religious thing.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't participate in it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's just like someone showing a movie about demons and everything. You probably wouldn't let your children watch it. The first thing you need to note, and you also need to keep in mind, is that the Olympics, the origin of the Olympics was to celebrate certain things. It was like a ritual. So come on, the entertainment part is just the sports part. That's just the just to add to the festivities, but that's not the main aim. So if you're seeing ridiculous things or stuff you feel are outrageous, then it shouldn't blow your mind out of proportion. I've always said it. Yeah. For me, in recent times, my favorite has been the opening ceremony in London. That's the London
the UK, that was 2012.
Yes, that's been my favorite because of the Roman
coming out about the 2012 opening ceremony, talking about the fact that, you know, they did focus on the NHS, which is the health system. Okay. And there were nurses, and they brought out hospital beds and kids.
They said it predicted COVID.
Well, a lot of conspiracy theories speak a lot about the opening ceremony of the Olympics and what happens in years after.
So 7 years time there'll be famine. That's the one I heard now.
This was on an artistic level. I mentioned it during my show, and I said something that, look, you have to understand that when it comes to art, if you are extremely religiously inclined, you might have some issues with it.
Yes.
But based on an artistic level, you don't understand. Normally, you go for an opening ceremony, they go to a stadium, and they do all of that. Paris, they use the city.
Yeah. The whole city.
It was mind-blowing. I'd never seen anything like that.
Nothing like
Nothing
it.
comes close. They used the whole city.
They use the
There
sand,
was-
the river.
There was, I mean, they used boats to carry the teams. And then while it was going on the bridge, they used the Eiffel Tower also. Runway.
And the horse running on water.
They were
that they
doing
linked
whole
to
runway.
Revelations. Ah.
Wow.
It was something else. It was something else. Well, we'll talk about that and much more later on the show.
Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Now we continue our coverage ahead of the planned nationwide protest as calls continue to grow for and against the protest. The Nigeria Police Force has defended its request for the names and other details of intending participants of the protest scheduled for the 1st of August. Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi explained in a statement released yesterday that request for such details is standard procedure to ensure the safety of all participants and prevent any unlawful activity. You would recall that the police had last week mentioned that it needs details of the protesters to provide protection for them. ACP Adejobi says it is vital to clarify that the IGP has never denied the constitutional right of every citizen to freedom of association and expression, but has always emphasized that the right to peaceful assembly and expression is paramount. He also explained that the police force has a responsibility to ensure that any activity does not pose a threat to national security. In a related development, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party at the last elections, Peter Obi, has backed the calls for a nationwide protest, but stressed that it must be done peacefully. Obi, who spoke when he paid a courtesy visit at Dr. Oti's country home in Mvosi, Isialangwa South local government, appealed to government to listen to the demands of the protesters. Governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, however, disagrees with Peter Obi's stance, stressing that Nigerians have seen protests hijacked and nobody can assure the proposed protest would be done within the law and not harmful to the progress of the country.
Within the Nigerian constitution, protest is allowed. All I plead for those who are protesting is to do so within the law and in a civil manner that allows us as a nation to show that we live within the law. You know, everybody knows the things that are difficult. I always say, when they talk about sponsors of the protest, I say the sponsors are very simple. It's hunger. It's hopelessness among the youths. So we all have to listen to what Nigerians are going through.
The problem we find ourselves in the country today is economic. And will I say that we are actually paying the price for bad governance that didn't start today? People should think about the implications of pouring out on the streets and restricting movement of other people and possibly inflicting harm and more hardship on the people. For people in Abia, my advice is that people should not pour out on the streets because it may be more hurtful than the protest that the reason for the protest that people are calling for.
Now, the crisis in the Labour Party seems to be far from over as the former spokesperson for the Obi presidential campaign organization, Kenneth Okonkwo, has left the party. Okonkwo on his X-handle said he decided to leave the party because the presidential candidate in 2023, Peter Obi, failed to inspire the brand of leadership that can solve Nigeria's challenges. The statement reads, and we quote, "After the 2023 general election, Nigerians, including myself, had high hopes for the Labour Party. I believe that Peter Obi will seize the momentum and build a solid party of integrity that will have the solid base." End of quote. He also mentioned that Obi failed to solve the party's leadership crisis. After the 2023 general election, claiming that every member of the Labour Party was confused about the future of the party because of the lack of leadership from the presidential candidates. And that's it on the news update for this Wake Up Nigeria. So much more to come. Just stay with us.
It makes me think of
Mike,
whether
it's
there's
okay.
a lip print database. You know, there's fingerprints, there's retina scan. Maybe there's lip.
Yeah, maybe it might get to a point where you need it. I mean, after all, we asked for BVN and NIN.
Abi.
They work for LIN now.
And I think both of
Leave
them-
identification number.
Both of them are saying identification numbers, but instead of finding a way to harmonize both databases, we're asking for them individually. So maybe you get to a time your fingerprint, your lip print.
They'll say FIN, finger identification, LIN,
All of
leave
that.
identification.
Well, it's Monday. Normally on Mondays, at times, we also want to talk about because it's a whole weekend. There's a lot.
There's
so
a
much.
lot, so trying to pick.
Yeah, but just at the same time, just to say that, you know, it's not the best time for everybody. Feel scarcity and all of that. Yeah. Talk about protests. At least the president has come out to say that, look, it is everybody's right to protest, but you don't have a right to destroy things. I think that's what everybody's agreed on. Yeah. Everybody's agreed on that. Protest is not a problem. It is the things that come on, the concomitant destruction of properties and where where you have some elements who decide to use that as an outlet. That's where there are issues. So that one is.
Meanwhile, in people's houses are also upside down these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of
kids are
protests.
climbing everything, climbing the curtains, climbing the wall, breaking things.
Yes, now
eating
they are
all the
protesting
food.
being kept
They're
indoors.
being kept in the house. They're protesting. The kids are protesting being kept in the house without snacks, without all the extra food that was often available, because now people they're cutting their coat according to the fabric they have and not their size, as it were. But there are so many conversations about things we can do to be intentional with our families during this holiday period. Do you have any holiday plans for the kids?
So beyond even the holiday, I've always thought that parents generally should be more intentional as to how they treat their children, the things they say to their children, the things they expose their children to. The base of this conversation has to do with a tweet that was trending over the weekend where a man, well, we don't know the gender of the person, but the person asked a child to put something down, put that thing down or else I'll beat you. And the girl went, if you beat me, I'll not cry. Wow. When my dad beats my mom, she cries, but me, I will not cry. And so it's actually sparked conversations because on the one hand, some people were like, my goodness, there's a lot of abuse she's being exposed to. On the other hand, some people were like, okay, maybe the girl is misunderstanding the beating.
Oh.
Yes, I don't know how to put it well. But
wow,
so it was actually the conversation. However, the point to bring out of this is children are watching. This holiday season, what are you doing to keep them properly engaged so they do not get into any scrapes? Let me put it that way. Because you may not be able to control what might come out of it. We underestimate children a lot. We think, oh, this child doesn't know this. This child is too little to think this way. But children, they are smarter than you think, and you need to be very careful. You really do need to be.
That is very true. They are smarter than you think.
Yeah.
They are at an impressionable age. I'm telling somebody that it's easier for a kid to learn how to speak a new language, even than an adult. Yeah. So yes, they can be, and then they observe, and then when they do, they might not want to talk about it, and then they go outside. Another story that someone even told me, this one happened with a family that is separated somehow. Not like separated, but mom is somewhere, dad is somewhere. And then there's somebody that comes to take care of the house. And not like anything. And then the little girl goes to spend time with grandma or something and goes, oh, daddy's girlfriend came this other time, I'm telling you, and not like there was anything like that. This one person comes to clean the house. Exactly. And this is a kid and all of that. And then she goes and talks to grandma. Oh, and then grandma calls grandpa and then serious fight. Hey. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? And it was not the girl's fault because, she's a kid and, but what I'm saying
maybe they've been telling her, call her auntie this, call her auntie
that. No, it could even be things like maybe the cleaner sits down to have a cup of tea with the grandpa. They talk about things. Yeah. And so the child remembers, when grandma and grandpa used to be, that's what they do, they gist. So maybe there's something going on.
And it gets to the point where now, the other day I was with my nephew, and he, of course, immediately you jump, the first thing he jumps to is your phone. And then this same guy, a friend came in, deleted WhatsApp off my friend's phone. And she didn't know. It was later, like, wait, what happened? There's no WhatsApp.
Wow.
Was there for, just tapping. He taps. And then he even went in front of me, was in my phone. And then I was watching him. I don't know when Baba entered dark mood. And they went into different places. And then you see the way, no, it's not about tech. Yes, there are people who are tech savvy, but then there's some kind of distraction that the screen offers to kids at this particular point in time. And then now, they know how to find their way around it in such a way. And now parents, because of, hey, it is actually stressful raising a kid the way we were raised, having to ensure that, you're sitting. And then I know of a friend of mine and his wife who homeschool. I kudos to them. They've been homeschooling. The kids are now like 6, 7, and they've been homeschooling since. That is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. You understand? But now you get to a point whereby now a lot of kids now do things or find ways around your devices and go around to places where you cannot even monitor what they are doing on these places. And then you get these subliminal messages that a lot of cartoons, YouTube especially, if you are going to use some YouTube, get the app YouTube for Kids.
Yes.
So what happens is that it's not like there are no things that are, there are things that are not, that you wouldn't like there, but the thing is that at least to an extent,
Streamlined.
There's a bar. To an extent, they curtail a lot of these things. Yeah. But then we know these days cartoons are not just cartoons. If you don't believe in a particular letter, they can be pushing it to your kids. So it's really, so the point is monitoring.
Monitoring and intentionality. So for instance, if you are going to give a device to a child, you specifically need to make sure you've deleted certain things from that device. And you know that this device is only the kid that's going to use it. Never leave an adult device with your child unattended. Just never do it.
A lot of people do.
There are older versions of phones, fairly used phones and all that you can get. Clean the phone out. Delete all the social media apps. Put the ones you need in there. If it's films or cartoons you want your kids to watch, download and put them in, or get them and put them in the right place you need them to be. Be very intelligent. Spend a long time, as if you were, creating, uploading things for yourself. Think about what your kid is watching.
So
I saw a young girl, 11-year-old, with Snapchat. I'm like, what is an 11-year-old doing with Snapchat?
Wow.
So I don't see any issue
wondering.
with an 11-year-old using Snapchat. I'm sorry, but I don't. As long as it's monitored.
Snapchat
some of them
has
use it
location tagging.
Some of them use it just for the filters. Whatever reason. But I just wanted to say that.
The stories.
That app is a Jezebel app.
Wow.
No, they don't get involved in it. But what I just wanted to say
Don't give your daughter Snapchat.
is that
I don't tell you.
The cartoons
Okay,
that are
now.
being shown now are not as engaging as when we were children. And that's the truth. They are not as interesting. When we were children, put a child in front of TV, you are engaged. But now, there are options, but they are mostly crap, and that's the reality.
It is well.
We have to take a break now.
We do. Let's take a quick break. We'd love to hear your thoughts, though. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeriaonTVC and tag us WakeUpNigeriaTVCE on Instagram with your thoughts. We'll be back after this. Welcome to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen for a Monday. And we have something special planned for you today. We have Chef Abiba here, and she is joining us to teach us about how to decorate cake. Now, there are different types of decorations you can use for cake. Yes. Which one are you showing us today?
I'm doing buttercream.
Buttercream. Okay. Chef Abiba, talk to us a bit about what you do every day. What sort of cakes do you make on a daily basis? What do you make?
I bake different types of cake.
What's your
red velvet, chocolate cake,
chocolate,
coconut cake,
coconut, ooh,
banana cake.
So banana cake and banana bread, are they the same thing?
The difference is not much.
It's not much, eh?
Yes.
Okay, banana cake, banana bread, not much difference.
Yes.
Let's talk ingredients now. I know that a lot of these ingredients are things you can find just about anywhere that they sell baking items, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is going to be a process that anyone who wants to cover their cake can do, right?
Yes,
in their
ma'am.
home, right?
Yes,
Nothing
ma'am.
too technical.
Yes.
All right, so what do we need, first of all?
We cream our butter first.
Butter, okay, or margarine.
Margarine, yeah.
Let me open that for you. We add,
So we are using 250 grams of butter.
250 grams. This
Yes.
is a whole 250 gram sachet
Yes.
I have with me here. Let me just squeeze that out for you. Ah, I'm getting my hands dirty today.
Sorry.
No. Oops, I love it. I love this part. Okay, 250 grams of butter.
Yes.
Done.
So we're adding flavor.
Flavor,
So we
what type
cream
of flavor?
vanilla.
Vanilla flavor, okay. Go
So
ahead.
we are putting half tablespoon of flavor.
Half a tablespoon of flavor. Vanilla flavoring.
Yes.
To the butter directly.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
So we cream it together.
What are we going to use to cream it? Are we using a spatula?
Let's use the palette knife.
Okay.
So I
So
know how to do it. It's not sharp.
I hear you on that, but we have another one here I can use.
Okay.
Let me just grab it for you. I will be there in a second. Okay, so this is something I love to do at home, and I'm always on my kids about using soft utensils so that the utensils, first of all, don't make any noise in the kitchen. Okay. Then secondly, don't damage my bowls because I'm so passionate about my bowls.
Yes.
So now we have the butter and the vanilla in there. Is there anything else?
No.
Keep going, keep going. Is there anything else we're going to be adding to this mix?
Okay. We only save the icing sugar because of the lumps.
All right, so do we have
do
the
you
sieve
have sieve?
standing by? I think I have a sieve somewhere here. Let me find it. Let me find it for you. So sieving the icing sugar, why do we need to sieve it? Talk
Because
to us
of
about
the
it.
lumps.
Because of the lumps?
Yes.
Okay, so while you're mixing that, we're going to show people the ingredients one more time.
Okay.
We have butter. We
Yeah.
have vanilla flavor.
Yeah.
What is this?
Color.
Coloring.
Food
What?
coloring.
Food coloring.
Yes.
And then, of course, icing sugar, and then our cake. Let me unwrap this cake. Talk to us about this cake. When did you make this?
Yesterday night.
Yesterday night?
Yes.
What did you add to this cake?
I added flour,
Flour,
sugar,
sugar, okay.
egg.
Eggs. This is a standard cake. I'm not sure if this is how it's supposed to stand. Don't worry, I know I'll let you do that in a second.
Okay.
I'm just putting it there for the camera. Ooh, I know you're going to definitely put it back the right way.
Yes.
But let me
I will
look for the
balance it.
sieve while you're doing the mixing. Yeah, so if you don't sieve that icing sugar, you said it gives you lumps.
Yes.
All right? Nobody likes lumpy sugar. Is this a good
It's
enough
okay,
one for me?
yes.
Okay, fantastic. Good. So the cake is already here on standby, ready to be decorated. All we need now is the icing sugar. How much icing sugar am I sieving now? Is it the whole?
1 kg. Yes.
1 kilo?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, the whole pack?
Yes, ma'am.
Seriously? Oh, more the amount of sugar we're eating in this cake, it's not beans. Okay, then. We have, is there any particular thing I need to look out for with the icing sugar? No?
It's only the lumps.
One more time? Okay. So just sieve it out.
Yes.
So if I use ordinary sugar, what happens?
Ordinary sugar.
Yes.
Ordinary sugar is not smooth.
It's not smooth, okay?
Yes.
All right.
But if you want to use ordinary sugar, you will blend it.
Blend it.
Yes. But it still have some ingredient that you will add to
Okay.
it that will give you icing sugar.
What do you think you can add to? You don't want to tell us the secret, eh? Tell us the secret now.
I can tell you behind the camera.
Ah, okay. Chef Abiba has a secret. I have to respect that. And I can see some of the lumps you were talking about in the icing sugar. So you're sieving it to prevent those lumps giving you stress when you're doing the actual decorating, right? All right, so this mixing process, if I had a mixer, it would be faster. I
Yes,
believe, right?
yes, this is manual.
Manual. So this is something you could teach your kids at home during this holiday.
Yes.
Buy some icing sugar, get those sachet margarine, and put them to work. Just make sure you have someone ready to clean up afterwards, because even I am making a mess here. But at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Mike and Mary. They are on the couch, and they're ready for us.
All right, let's take a look at the papers this morning. I've got Mike right here with me, and we're going to be looking at what the newspaper headlines are saying this morning. Mike, do you want to take the first one, the Punch newspaper? Okay. I'll start off with the Nation newspaper this morning, all right? The Nation newspaper has this as the big headline, recapitalization. 5 banks in capital markets to raise 1.26 trillion naira. Investors get huge opportunity to expand scope. And then here we also have leave Lagos out of it. NLC tells protest promoters. Hayab tilde others shun agitation. Here we also have Kenneth Okonkwo dumps Obi LP. 2 killed in Boko Haram's attack on police station. Up here, we have Kamala Harris' campaign raises $200 million in 1 week. Etu Danjuma, others join Naimobo board. We also have NEF strikes, destroy 12 illegal refineries in Abia and Rivers. And 28 housemates begin chase of 100 million naira. SUV in Big Brother Naija. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, CBN clears next of kin to claim funds in dormant account. And finally, reporting indicts private airlines of regulatory infractions. All of these stories you can catch in the Nation newspaper today. And I would say that the one I find super interesting is CBN clearing next of kin to claim funds in dormant accounts. That has always been a big deal. People saying, the regulation says you cannot touch money in dormant accounts, or there are certain regulations that have to take place before you can even access funds of your deceased loved ones.
Exactly. So dormant here, in this case, deceased is a major part of it. And then also there are some other accounts also that the people are even still alive, but they just decided, I don't know, for one reason or two, to not actually use that particular account. So there are reasons like that. And, I think we've had people here at different times trying to tell us that when you put next of kin in your account, that doesn't mean that they will give whatever money that you have to that person. There has to be another form. I think they were talking to us about it. So we should, people should make inquiries and get to find out what should happen in a case of passing on, what would happen, because if you don't give an instruction to that, the bank takes the money.
Yes, that's it. That's actually true.
And like you said,
let's have the next newspaper, Mike. I believe it's the Punch newspaper.
Okay, yeah. US, UK, Canada issue security alerts. Traders fear looting. This is foreign ministries, foreign missions foresee violence as FG and OB defer on protest sponsors. Fuel rises to 1,300 per litre as depots run dry. Only NNPCL can buy Dangote petrol, and that's coming from Ipman. And SIM-NIN linkage. Telcos begin final mass disconnection. Has any of your lines been disconnected?
No. I only have one, and it hasn't.
You've linked your NIN? If
I
you've not
did
linked
that.
your NIN, so there are some people that have already linked also, and there are issues.
Yes, I gather so as well, yes.
But one thing is that the telcos have been talking about this for months now.
Yes,
and maybe because of the way we are as a people, we don't. And then it also is there's also an online way to link it. Now, I don't know if after disconnection, if it is going to be as seamless as it was before disconnection. I don't know about that. But I know that they had given options for you to sit back at home and link it. That was one of the
I believe
options.
there's even the possibility to do it, yes, you're right, at home, because the reality is you can still use the SIM to make phone calls. I see many people whose lines have been blocked that still make phone calls, just that they cannot receive phone calls.
Oh, they make,
They make phone calls with the line.
Oh, so because due to the proliferation of WhatsApp now, people are actually even, so some people that their own have been blocked for weeks and they don't mind. They just put on their status, look, WhatsApp. So they make phone calls on WhatsApp, they send messages and they receive messages. And so they don't have so much recourse to the normal telcos or using the telcos as their primary mode of communication.
What I would really like is for them to just let us start, having access to our old lives that we lost. Okay, so moving on to the Daily Independent now. The Daily Independent says 70% forex gains tax shows federal government's lack of creativity. And that's coming from analysts. Here we also have hardship. Peter Obi urges protesters to act within the law, be civil. Here on the front page of the Daily Independent, Benue governor accuses Abuja politicians of sponsoring, supporting bandits. On the front page here, there's also police justify requests for protest details, cite security concerns. APC chieftain Lukman identifies why hardship persists in the country. Sudist monarchs seek Nnamdi Kanu's release, reject protests, push for 2 more states for geopolitical zone. Up here, we see Boko Haram terrorists raid Borno police station, kill officer, 1 other. And finally, Serap sues CBN over failure to account for 100 billion naira dirty notes, others. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. So go check out the newspapers yourselves, check out what the headlines are saying, and of course, have conversations, fruitful ones this week regarding the news. We have to take a break now. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us.
Welcome back to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. We're doing something super sweet today. We have Chef Abiba in the kitchen. And what we're doing is learning how to decorate cake. Now, this is the part that people don't see, the hard work that these cake makers, bakers go through just to make sure that cake looks perfect for that birthday, for that anniversary, for that celebration. All you guys know how to do is just cut the cake and eat, Abi. Yeah, come and learn how it's done. It's something you can do at home with your kids. This holiday, it's something you could all practice together, and it's one skill that I don't think will ever get old. Chef Abiba, what have we done so far?
We finished doing the buttercream.
You've
Finished mixing the buttercream.
So basically what we had here was 250 grams of margarine. It was in a sachet. We squeezed that all out, and then we sieved about 1 kilo of icing sugar. So the sieving part was very, dusty, as you can see, but she's adding it cup by cup to the butter, and she's mixing it in little by little. So what would happen if I just poured all the sugar in at once?
It will not be smooth.
It won't be smooth?
Yes.
Okay. Now, 1 kilo of sugar to 250 grams of margarine just feels like a lot of sugar. I have to say, it's making my heart pump, palpitate just looking at it. But it is looking very smooth though. Very, very smooth. Doing it by hand is something people have done for many decades. But now, I'm thinking if I had the machine to do it, I could just do that, right?
Yes. Yes. It
will
be faster than this.
Okay. Are we still going in with more sugar? Are we done?
Let's hold on like
We
this.
should hold on the sugar. So what's the next thing we should do?
So covering of the cake.
Covering the cake. All right, let's showcase how to cover the cake. First of all, how many inches is this cake?
7 inches.
7 inches, okay. 7 inches and 3 layers.
Yes.
All right. So what are we checking
So
for?
we have vanilla cake.
Okay.
And there's marble cake.
Marble cake.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we need to put that down somewhere. Yes, let me get you a plate for that. You can put that right here. Aha. Fantastic. So the marble, vanilla, and...
Will be at the middle.
Okay, fantastic. So I have this. So what are you doing now? What are you trying to do now? What are we doing?
I want to add butter here. Butter is in
So
there.
what did you just do now?
No, I just scraped the top because the cake is not balanced.
Oh, okay, all right. So I thought maybe you were going to throw away that cake.
No, I'm not showing it.
I have plans for that cake. I have plans for that one that you shaved off. So what you're doing is you're balancing the cake,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. So what about the edges right round? You don't need to balance the
I will
edges.
still balance it.
Okay, all right. So now
So I will need water.
water.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get you some water. Water for the knife?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
All right, fantastic. Let me get some water for you into a mug.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so I have some water in a mug here for you. Is this enough? Is that enough, or do you need more?
It's okay.
All right, fantastic. What are we using the water for? Please let me know.
I will use it to smooth the cake.
Interesting.
To smooth the butter is in rather.
Oh my gosh, did I just get caught on camera eating crumbs of the cake? Sorry, I apologize. It was irresistible. She's balancing the cake out by shaving off the top I didn't know this was a thing till now. I didn't know people did that. But yeah, we're learning. We are definitely learning. Okay, so that's... Go ahead.
I made a mistake.
Okay, so you want to put the marble cake in the middle and put the vanilla on the top and the bottom. Okay, fantastic. And then she's going to shave off the next bit of cake. And while I plan how I'm going to eat all those shavings and drink some coffee, we're going to hand it over to Mike for the beautiful cake. Oh, wow.
When you start hearing some conversations, you just know. Midlife, is it midlife crisis?
I reject it. I can never have crisis. Beginning of life, middle of life, even end of life will not be a crisis. It's going to be sweet.
Well, this was the end of a discussion we had just before we came on. But good morning and welcome. It's the second lap of Wake Up Nigeria. If you're just joining us, you've missed 1 hour, but we've still got 45 more minutes to go on the show.
Now, you can choose to live your life by drawing lines, like the way we already started that conversation, or you can cross over those lines, find new beginnings, new reasons to live, new reasons to find joy.
It's what Monday is all about, motivation. Someone said it's like a bath. That yes, you need to take it every time, you know, because you wonder, okay, what happened with the last one you did? Well, you just keep on motivating yourself and ensure that, you know, you get to embrace life and choose to live in a world filled with possibilities. And of course, just be the best of you. Just be as great as you can be. I'm talking about being the best and the greats, as great as you can be. We have something going out there, which is, you know, quite in a celebratory mood. It's a cake. Titi, of course, was there making it out with Chef this morning. And Mary is now there. How is it going there?
Celebratory mood. It's still the week of our 7th anniversary because it's going to be a week by tomorrow. So we are still feeling all the anniversary vibes. But then, of course, as you can see, this is a very, very buttery icing. I cannot wait to see how this will come on the cake and all the works. I like the pink one as well. But this is very buttery. It looks nice. Like you could just sit down and start licking it and then end up with a lot of tummy ache.
All right. So still on the anniversary. Now a number of you have reached out talking about your winnings and your gifts. We will come bearing them this week. We have your numbers. We'll reach out to you and we will come bearing those gifts. For those of you who didn't win, you can check out our social media handles. When we do go, you'll get to see how we went there and all of that. But this week we'll find out. Time will definitely come to get you those gifts celebrating our 7th anniversary.
Speaking of super fans, I met the Danilo twins over the weekend. Big shout out to them. They were really, really happy to see me and the twins. We love fans just like them, and just like you, we have put together all we can for today's show.
All right, my name is Mike Mesokeno.
And I'm Titi Layo. So this is the best platform for you to be watching right now, the best breakfast show on Nigerian TV. You can watch us live from absolutely anywhere through our mobile app. Download it for Google Play or for iOS. All
right, let's get straight into what we have left on the show this morning. We've already had some beautiful segments. We've got motivation. Nkem Mufonabo, also known as the Harmonizer, will be here for motivation. And our topic today will be talking about optimizing the 4 P's of business, a holistic approach that drives ROI. What's ROI? Of course, that's when it comes to investment and return on investment, a business term.
We have Skido Simba going to perform for us. He has an amazing new single called Gboran. It's going to be really interesting to see him perform. And then, of course, we'll be having the American Playboy join us today. It's going to be an interesting conversation with this particular guest, Babalola Silas.
Well, motivation is Francis additional.
Yes,
that was a mistake from me. Sorry about that. Not the ROI. Some other day I'll talk about your return on investment. Yeah. So I saw something here, quite interesting here. Someone came up and said it's sad to see gospel ministers incorporating trendy and secular musical phrases into their administration. In fact, someone said that this 1 to 8 trend. Gospel ministers are not good. Then I see a video of gospel ministers doing go.
They did.
I saw it.
Actually,
what are your thoughts on all of this? And then there's a comment there that somebody mentioned. I'll not mention the second part of the comment because it is quite inflammatory. But he said, why do you want to fight for God? Why don't you leave God to...
Fights his battles.
But what are your thoughts on this, yeah? Because I find it quite interesting, yeah?
So, I feel like gospel ministers right now are trying to find ways to engage the youthful audience. We were at TAPE on Friday. TAPE, that's the African Praise Experience.
Was there Google there?
So yes, all the dance steps and trending moves, everything they could to incorporate things that the young audience were going to be.
So there was go.
They danced, yes, they danced it. And guess what? They're, bringing younger eyes to, to their music, younger ears as well to their music. The days of the very reverent music have gone. That's the truth. Yes, we might have them in distant memory and bring them forward and maybe incorporate some African vibes into them to, bring back it's the same lyrics, just being revamped and engaging a younger audience.
It's actually been the case for decades now. As a matter of fact, I remember when, there was a Christian version of Premier Gao, if you remember. And then, of course, we've had several like that.
Yeah.
And I do not see any problem in them.
Of course.
The thing is this, you have to replace the secular word, for me, with something gospel that can emphasize it. That's my own. But praise and worship, people dance the same way.
Even the Gwagwagwa story itself was a folktale. And there was nothing untoward about that folktale. Folktales were used in our culture to send messages and tell stories to young people.
You gotta go.
Okay, so you came back to us at exactly the right time. The application of the icing has begun. So if you joined us earlier, you would have seen Chef Abiba mix together 250 grams of margarine, 1 kilogram of icing sugar, and painstakingly smoothen it into something she could use to decorate this cake. So this is all about teaching us how to decorate the cake. So what is this thing called?
Turning table.
Turning table. So the turning table is spinning around 360 degrees for you to use. And I saw when you were layering the cake and balancing it out, she even at some point used some cake to even,
balance
it out, or should we say shock it in the places where you could have. You were shocking it.
Yes.
So that's I was looking forward to those crumbs, and I had a very nice taste of the actual cake itself.
Thank you.
Before it, honestly, and it looks so good. It looks so good. It tastes good as well. But now, this process you're doing, tell me exactly what it's called.
It's called, first, I will first apply a first coating.
Okay.
So as to cover the crumbs.
Okay.
So that the cake will not be stained.
Okay. Go ahead, keep going. You don't have to stop because of me and my questions.
So
all right.
I'm giving it first coating now.
First coating.
Yes.
To fill up all those gaps,
Yes.
cover all the crumbs. So I'm always so, wary of whether you have enough icing to use. How do you know if it's going to be enough or you're going to need more? This is a 7-inch cake, yes?
Yes.
7-inch 3-layer cake. There's vanilla in there. There's
And there's
also
marble cake.
marble cake in
2
there.
vanilla and 1 marble cake.
Fantastic. So if you're trying this at home anytime soon, please don't forget to make a video of it and show us. Now, you're probably seeing some pink icing there as well. Earlier on, we added some food coloring, some pink food coloring to a portion of the icing. She just separated the icing.
So this is the first coating.
First coating is
So
done.
I'm doing the second coating now.
Okay. So this turntable is very key. If you don't have a turntable,
You can't work with that turntable.
you can't work without a turntable.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. All right. So this is second coating. Obviously thicker than the first one. We have 3 colors of icing here. I was talking about the colored ones now. We have pink, we have the yellow cream, and then we also have green in here as well. So this green is going to be used later on. So if you're getting your food colorings, just make sure you get as many colors as you can so that you can decorate your cake. But it's the same amount of icing she's still using for all the colors. So it's not as if you have to mix a fresh set of icing for the different colors. This is second coating. How many coatings are we doing?
Just 2 coatings.
Just 2 coatings. Fantastic. Whew, I was a bit scared there. All right, so you have some other utensils here with you that you said you wanted to soak in water. Was there a particular reason why you said you wanted to soak them in water?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you want to put them in water?
Because of the flies. So I will need to rinse it before using it.
Okay, all right, to rinse them.
Yes.
So obviously when you're working with sugary items, it attracts all sorts. Hopefully we won't have any issues. All right, so this pink icing now, when are you applying that?
I will use it for the borders.
For the borders?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I know that everyone is waiting for you to use some of those utensils to see what it looks like. And we have just a few more seconds to show. Is it possible for us to show that now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Fabulous. Okay, so second coat, go ahead.
No, this is scraper.
Okay.
So we use it to smooth.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right, so the scraper goes around the cake like that. And obviously, if you don't have a turntable, this wouldn't be a very smooth process, would it? Aha, that's excess icing there.
We also use this too.
Okay, there's
We
another
call this
scraper.
No, it's cake comb.
A comb, all right.
Yes.
Let's see what this does as quickly as possible. Okay, all right. So let's see what this does. Okay, so we're getting there. We are getting there. Woo! And just like magic, our cake is almost done. We're gonna leave Chef Habiba to keep creating magic right here in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Hopefully you're trying this at home as well. But at this point, we have to take a break.
Okay, it's time for us to motivate you. And today our focus is on the power of the mind of a father, his family, and national transformation. It's the final discussion we're having on motivation for the month of July. And to help conclude this series is Dr. Francis Adeshino. It's so good to have you in the studio with us. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm fine. Thanks for having
You look
me.
really serious today. Is it because you're talking about the mind of a man, being a man yourself? You're like, thank you very much. Okay, let's do this. It's time to clear.
It's actually a serious discussion.
It is. It is. So, because when people talk about a father, there are always different expectations, different definitions, and all. But then, of course, you're talking about the power of the mind of a father.
Exactly.
Who he is, I'm saying supposed to.
Yeah.
Who is supposed to be the head of the family.
Yeah.
I'm using that because, unfortunately, many females have had to take the reins of leadership when the father fails to in a relationship. But let's talk about the power of the mind of a man.
Yeah. The mind actually determines your life because what goes on in your mind will eventually show up in your life. It simply means if you mentor your mind, you will deliver deliberately the life that you desire.
Absolutely.
So going to the topic, the mind of the father is the source of what the family will become. And you'll agree with me that the family is the smallest denominator of a nation.
Yeah.
So if the mind of the father is right, then the family will be right.
True.
Then if you look at the aggregate quality of the mind of the fathers of a nation, it simply means it will reflect in the nation as a whole. The world is filled with 8.1 billion people from about 2.43 billion family. And every family is deliberately identified or tied to a nation. So what goes on aggregately in the family determines what goes on in the nation. And remember, the father, we normally say the father is the head of the family.
Yeah.
But rightly put, the father is actually the foundation of the family. You know, you'll agree with me that if you will build a house, the first thing to build is the foundation.
It has to be very strong.
So if you use the word head, it's like the roof. If there's a storm and the roof is gone, you can rebuild. But when the foundation is gone,
that's the end of
nothing
the
remains.
Yeah.
So the place of a father is everything when it comes to the state of a nation. It's a long process. So what goes on in the family is exactly the picture of the society. And every society builds up to be the community, and the community to states, local government, all that, to the nation. So the mind of father or the mind of fatherhood is critical to what the family is,
So
and invariably.
in what ways does it influence family life? And let's take this from the very beginning, because a man has to make the choices, the right choices for his life, because not only will they affect him, they will affect the woman he brings into his home as his wife, as well as the offspring they produce as well. So when we talk about that, what are the influences that will help a man have the correct mind so as to have power over it as well?
Okay. Male is different from a man. A male is a product of nature. A man is a product of nurture, training. So to become a man, you must be trained to know the rubrics or those things required to have a quality family.
True.
You know, this has been a series. Last episode, we said life is built on 12-dimensional aspect of life, or 12-dimensional masteries, or pillars of life. One of it is family, parenting, and marriage. So every single decision a man makes determines critically. It's a peep into the future of a nation, aggregately.
That's why they say a family is important in a nation. It's
Exactly.
more or less a mini nation.
And the
itself.
father leads that process, or the whole. So his choices before marriage is critical. So if he's choosing his wife with the parameters of shape and looks or complexion, then he's making a big mistake. He needs to see beyond
the physical,
the container, but to see a content that will metamorphose into a mother and a wife. So the decision influences a whole lot. It's quite unfortunate that people don't even know the purpose, the principles, and the laws that govern a marriage before they jump into it. It's more than that.
So for an average man now, we're talking about the transformational part. There's a man watching you now that is wondering, okay, maybe he has made the wrong choices, or he's about to make a major choice. What are those things he has to know, the things he has to do right to either correct his mistakes or at least make sure the future turns out better than it is?
Yeah. Life is hardwired to learning. The difference between a failure and an achiever is learning and set goals. So he will start from where he is. It's never too late to make a U-turn if you realize you're going on the wrong way. So the first thing is, what do I need to know? What are my expectations and goals? What goals should I set for my family? What goals should I set for myself? What are the achievable or desirable expectations that will make me feel or think that I'm getting it right? So sometimes you need an expert. Sometimes you need a mentor. Sometimes you need a family that is getting it right, or a man that is getting it right. Life always flows in the direction of a target, a goal. So you can't aim right if you lack a focus. So that's...
Focus is key.
Is key.
There's a lot to learn from this. Even as a woman myself, I've been able to pick one or two lessons that could also help in ensuring that at least one is a good partner to their spouse. And I find that really inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been a beautiful month listening to you, week in, week
Thank you
out,
so
Dr.
much for
Francis
having me.
Additional.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much for your time. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you as well for always watching the motivation segment on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm pretty sure you learned more than a thing or two this month long. We have to take a break. We'll be back in a bit. Just stay with us.
All right, welcome back. It's our final guest of the day. We have Babalola Silas, who is a seasoned Nollywood actor, film producer, and of course a theater practitioner. He's featured in a lot of movies and of course series, including Papa Jasco, Battleground, The Johnsons, quite a number of them. And yeah, American Playboy is his first effort at making his own full feature-length movie. American Playboy. Since you already, we already have that. Okay, let's talk about American Playboy. What inspired the name American Playboy? What's it about?
Well, based on the background of the story, you know, I mean, I have some part of the story that are personal experience and stuff.
Okay.
So, but it's like, okay, yeah, this guy traveled abroad. It's a general thing that, you know, as a young man, you are growing up. When you get to a stage, you try to chase women and stuff. And when you are broke, you already know that no woman is going to look your way. Yeah, so the background of the story is that, okay, this guy, before he traveled abroad, he had, you know, a couple of bad experiences with women. And, you know, as a creative, I put my creative imagination to work, and that's it.
So you said part of this is also your personal. You have some aspects of your personal story in this. What parts of it were you resonate with you personally?
You know, rejection. You know, you talk to a woman, oh, you know, you're not up to my standard. These, oh, no, you're not my type of man and stuff. So, yeah.
You've been in this industry for quite a while. Yes, this is your first feature length. But before you got into this, let's talk about your origins and how you started as an actor.
Yeah, I actually started with the Yoruba side of the industry. Back then, we used to have this rehearsal ground around the Fadi. If you remember Alana from back in the days, anybody who has watched what's the title of this movie? Agumbaniro.
Okay.
Yeah, the title of the movie is Agumbaniro.
Okay.
It was produced by Alana back then. So Alana owned this like a film school sort of. So that's where we started. Then along the line, of course, my intention was to be able to cut across. But then you need like somewhere,
a platform or something like that.
A platform to groom yourself and stuff. So after getting trained over there, some of our lecturers are like a cut across practitioner. So I was invited to an audition, and that was it. That was how I joined the English side of the. I think that was like 2003, and I've been practicing.
Since this thing, you just mentioned earlier, there's been that back and forth, like a battle between Yoruba movie industry and then the English-speaking side. It seems like there's some sort of... Should there be that kind of a divide? Because that has been going on for quite a while. You see, at times there's that thing going up against, and people are trying to think, oh, this part, you are not as elite as us, or something like that. There's been that battle going on. Why so?
I don't think I can say much about that, but this is what I think. Having experienced both sides,
yeah.
I think one is more organized than the other, and I don't want anybody to quote me for that. I don't want to be crucified for that.
Okay.
But like I said, I've experienced it.
Both sides, yeah. So you understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You understand what you're saying?
Because, like, for instance, when I first started, I went on a location, and the experience was horrible. Like, it's a Yoruba setting. Like, you get on a movie location, there was zero preparation for you as an actor. But then, you went on the other side, and it's like two different worlds.
Two different worlds.
Like you get there, the preparation is top notch. You have a place to sleep. Like for instance, I don't want to mention it, but I've gone on some locations, like very popular producers.
Okay.
And you were almost wishing the production
welfare was
would
not attended to. Yeah.
You know, like
okay.
you enjoy yourself.
You enjoyed yourself.
You know,
okay, wonderful.
and you go on the other side and you're like,
you're wondering
what's going on here?
But now, yeah, with Netflix and all the rest coming in, we're now seeing a lot of Yoruba and epic movies that have
coming out.
Yeah, people are putting money into them, you know, and but there's quite a number of them now. Do you think that has helped the Yoruba movie or the epic industry as well?
Absolutely.
Because now we see that there's that market in diaspora that is ready to consume most of these movies which are
content.
Most of this content and all of that. Does that help the industry as it were?
Absolutely. You know, this is what I think. When you have resources to throw around, you organize better.
Okay.
And at the same time, I think despite the fact that you have resources, if you are a greedy person, you still want to keep more to yourself.
Exactly. So at times it's not even the money you have.
So it's not even the money.
Because you might have little money, but you plan well. And then you might have enough of money, and then, like you said, you keep a lot, and then you find out that you start,
Yeah, because I see here, some producers, people go on their location for shoot, and they still suffer, even though, so to speak.
There's money involved in that production, yeah.
Because the system on the other side is that you help me, I help you. So if you are a producer and I'm a producer and we have this trade by barter thing.
Barter thing. So I won't pay you for your own production. You come and do my own, I come and do your own.
Come and do your own. But now, what about the little ones? Little ones that I mean, not children. Like the ones that are known, the ones that are on your set as extras, the ones that are there because they are just looking for. Because when I was, there was a time I was shooting skits. That was the time I realized that there were a lot of people that are looking for
opportunities. Yeah, very true.
And I see people taking advantage.
Taking advantage of them. A lot of it does happen. It does happen.
So
it does happen.
But I've always been this type of person that as much as possible, I like to be fair. If you first of all, if you come on my set, I'll make it clear that okay, money is not really involved, but there'll be welfare.
Okay, at least I'll take care of you.
I'll take care of you. But some people, there wouldn't even be any kind of talks before you just get on the set and you realize that okay, yeah, this is how it's going.
This is how it's going to be.
But then I went on a set. You sign a contract. You are going to spend 2 days. This is what you are expecting as your artist fee.
Artist fee, yeah.
When you are leaving everything you agreed on, you go home with.
Just to round up with this kind of, how can there be a standard? How do you, in such a way, how do you root out this kind of producers that take advantage of people in those kind of ways? Is there any way that can happen?
Okay, like for instance, I belong to Tampan, which is more of like the Yoruba side of the industry. I think it's something that only the association can fight for.
Can fight for it, okay.
Yeah.
So they would have to liaise with the producers directly and maybe sanction or something, stop some people from...
Yeah, because then another thing is if it's a personal desire to make sure that you are fair.
Okay.
People, there's a phrase, there's this rapper, Dr. Dre, he said something, he said, I used to be a starving artist, so I will never starve an artist.
Yeah, that's a nice way to wrap it up. I used to be a starving artist, so I would never starve an artist. Talking about starving, I hope you don't mind. We have a little bit of cake for you this morning.
I don't mind.
Okay, so that we'll talk about when we can check out. It's going to be in cinemas, right?
Yeah.
American Playboy. So from when is it available? Is it available now?
That's what they call it. I just got back.
IJGB. I just got back.
Chef Abiba, thank you so much for your great work. This is the finished cake, everyone.
Yay.
The little touches of pink and green icing have been added. Those rosettes look so nice. And she's written, thank you, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, that's
Thank
what's
you
reading
so
on
much.
it.
If you missed it, go ahead and cut. If you missed it, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, go to TVC Entertainment on YouTube, search for Wake Up Nigeria, and you will see the whole process of how this cake was decorated right here in our kitchen. And yes, we're slicing a bit for our guest to taste. Ooh, that was lucky. All right, for him to taste and tell us what you think.
There you go.
Please have a taste. This was all prepared right here on the show.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chef
Chef
Abiba.
Abiba. Yeah.
So,
Just so you know, I'm like a little bit of sweet tooth.
yeah, it's sweet too.
Oh, you're going to love this one then.
Okay.
You didn't take it with the icing, though.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
We have vanilla, marble, and
Yeah.
vanilla right there.
Yeah.
And some beautiful vanilla icing as well.
Yeah.
So please try this at home with your kids. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria and show us your videos. We can't wait to see them.
All right.
Mike, Mary?
Yeah, that's it. That's been the show today. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Bye.